Alright, Shalom. We want to start giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Alright, double honor to our apostle, El's Great Millstone, man. Peace and mercy be unto the Lord's elect. Alright, you know what I mean? I'm Brother Omar. Got the young brothers with me. Y'all can introduce yourself.
Bakar.
Yeah, one at a time, y'all. Shamaria, go ahead first.
Shalom.
Bakar.
Napash.
Yeah, now we in transit real quick, man, and you know, we just gonna do a lesson on Romans the 6th chapter, all right? Because when you read that chapter, it pretty much go into how like we were servants unto sin, but then once we received the truth, we became servants unto righteousness, and that's what we're gonna read. And like I said, and if any of y'all got some precepts to link with that, you just chime in anytime. Go ahead, Shamaria.
Romans chapter 6, verse 9. Knowing that Hamashiach, being raised from the dead, dieth no more, death hath no more dominion over him.
Keep going.
For in that he died unto sin once, but in that he liveth unto Yahweh.
Keep going.
Likewise, reckon ye also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto Yahweh through Yahweh Shai Hamashiach our Lord.
Right, and how do you be alive through Yahweh Bashem Yahshua? By doing the work. And once you receive the ministry, all right, once you receive the truth and all that, and you start pushing the word, that's when you start to become alive in Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. Because remember, go to Revelations 11 and 8, the dead bodies. Because remember, we was dead before we received the truth. So bring that back real quick, Shamaria, and then the Posh, like I said, whatever you got, just chime in anytime. But bring that back once you get a chance.
Romans chapter 6. Let me start verse 9.
No, hit the last verse you just hit.
This Romans chapter 6, verse 11. It says, Likewise reckon ye also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto Yahweh through Yahweh Shai Hamashiach our Lord.
Right, like I said, how do you be alive? By once you receive the truth, man. Once you receive the truth, you are now alive. You know what I mean? Because when Napash, you can get Ezekiel the 37th chapter.
Yeah, that's a spirit. That's all.
I don't have Napash. You get the one in Revelations. But yeah, get that one real quick.
All right, this Revelations chapter 11, verse 8. It say, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Right, like I said, because that's when we were dead. Like Jake is dead without the laws and stuff like that. But bring it back.
It say, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Right, and that's spiritually talking about how Jake is spiritually dead. You know what I mean? Like not physically, but spiritually dead. And you know what I mean, the streets and stuff like that represents pretty much America and stuff, man.
It say, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Right, like I said, which is America, man, because America follows all of the ways, all right, of those previous kingdoms before America rose. It follows all those previous kingdoms and stuff. So that's why I said spiritually called Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, keep going on that real quick, Shamaria. Oh no! Hold that real quick. Napash, grab yours.
Ezekiel 37 and what?
Yeah, you start from 1.
All right, Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 1. The hands of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
Right, and the bones, obviously, you already know what the bones is. It represents Israel as a whole, man. All right, we was dead. All right, without the law, statutes, commandments. Because remember, what quickens you? You know what I mean? The scripture said it's the spirit that quickeneth. You know what I mean? The flesh profited nothing. Once you receive the word, the spirit makes you alive. You know what I mean? You're no longer spiritually dead. You know what I mean? You awoke. All right, keep going on the question.
And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley. And lo, they were very dry.
Right, you know what I mean? And saying, lo, they were very dry. And like I said, when you keep on reading, you can stop right there in the Napash. When you keep on reading that whole chapter, which our brothers already know, that's going into how we were dead, man. All right? But once you receive the knowledge and stuff like that, you are alive. Now, go back to where you was at, Shmar.
Oh, I got a precept real quick.
Oh, we'll go bring yours on.
All right, this Psalms 23:4. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Yeah,
Right, and that valley is shadow of death. You know, that's this place, America, man. You know, and
yeah, because everything in America represents death. You know what I mean? Cigarettes. You know what I mean? The lifestyle they fucking promote, the diet, everything in this place represents death.
And just that sinful kingdom. You know, and the wages of sin is what? Death.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Then it said, "For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." And what's that comforter the Lord gave us? It's the scriptures. So, all right, we in the midst of all this death, you know, we surrounded around all this wickedness. So, but we got the scriptures to keep us stable and to comfort us.
That's right.
So we get endure through all this bullshit that's going on.
Yeah, so like it, since they changed that path or whatever, so it's going back towards the west.
And you gotta go that other way.
Yeah, it was like they closed it off. It's still leads to your way. All right, go ahead, Shmar.
It's Romans chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, and ye should obey it in the lust thereof."
Yeah, keep going, Shmar.
Verse 13, "Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin."
Right, it says, "Neither yield ye your members unto unrighteousness," man. All right, you can't no longer participate in willful sin, because once you do whatever that, like I said, that leads to death, man. And then, like I said, the whole moral of this lesson is to not give yourself over unto sin. Keep going. Shut up, bro. Go ahead, Shmar.
Verse 14, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for ye are not under the law, but under grace."
Yeah, it's keep going. I'll go past that.
Verse 15, "What then shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? Yahweh forbid."
Right, which we all know, like I said, we're under grace technically, you know what I mean? So when we break the laws, we're not really held to the full extent of the law, you know what I mean? Because that was the whole point of Yahushua going on the cross, was to relieve us of the pretty much the Old Testament, so to speak. You know what I mean? When you go off, when you sin, you need to go through the Levitical priesthood, so they can offer up whatever offering it is. Like if you committed a sin, then you need to go to the Levitical priest, and they will offer up a sin offering, and you will be back in the good grace of the Most High. But when Yahushua came on the scene, he pretty much did away with all that. So keep going on.
Verse 16, he says, "Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey."
Right, and see, that's talking about, like, if you yield your body, your temple to flesh, then it's you gonna bring forth that. But if you yield it to righteousness and to the Lord and then to the laws, it's gonna bring forth life. Bring that back, real quick.
Romans chapter 6, verse 16, it says, "Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey."
Right. So if you yield yourself unto sin, unto the lustful flesh, then you're gonna bring forth that. But if you yield yourself to the law, statutes, commandments, then you're gonna bring forth that. Like I said, which is life. You know what I mean? And real quick, Napash, get Galatians 6. Galatians 6. How old are you at, Shamar? Get Galatians 6. What is that? 6 and I think 8. Should be 6 and 8. Yeah. 6 and 8. Yeah, let us know whenever you get it.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it out.
It's Galatians chapter 6, verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
Right.
But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
Right, boom. Now hold it right there, Napash. Now go back to where you were just at, Shamaria. That linked perfectly.
Romans chapter 6, verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey.
Right, now Napash, go back to where you was at.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 8.
Yep.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
Right, you know what I mean? Just what I was just going into. So if you, the one that Shamari just brought out, if you whatever you yield your energy towards is going to bring forth that. If you sin in, which is breaking the law, which brings what Romans 6 and 23 says, for sin is the wages of death. Like if whatever you give your energy towards, that is going to bring forth of that. If you commit adultery, commit all the things, breaking the laws, it's going to bring forth death, and it's going to cause you to fall away from the Lord. But if you follow the law, statutes, commandments, it's going to bring forth life. So that's why the one Shamari just read, it went perfect what you just read, Napash. Now bring it back one more time, just in case y'all didn't get it. Shamari, bring yours, and then Napash.
This is Romans chapter 6, verse 16. Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey,
right,
his servants ye are to whom ye obey.
Right, rather, like I said, if it's sinning, then you're gonna bring forth that. If it's following the ways of the Lord, it's gonna bring forth that. Now the Napash, go what you about to get.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
Right, which is following the way, law, statutes, commandments of the Lord, man. Now keep reading, Shamari.
Verse 17, or Salaki. Romans chapter 6, verse 16. It says, know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death,
yep,
or of obedience unto righteousness.
Right, you see that? It, like I said, it went perfect, man. You know what I mean? Whatever you give your energy over towards is going to yield forth that. Keep going on.
Verse 17, but Yahweh be thanked that ye were the servants of sin, but ye have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered you. Verse 18, being then made free from sin, ye became the servants of righteousness.
Right, meaning once we got the truth or whatever, we, you know what I mean, like we was free from sin. You know what I mean? We knew what sin was, so we stopped willingly giving ourselves over to that, and we became the servants of what? Righteousness. That's what following the law, statutes, commandments is about. Now we servants of righteousness. You know what I mean, so to speak. Even though we still go off, but we following the Lord now, and we trying our best to keep those ways. So now we fled from sin, while following sin willfully, and now we servants of righteousness. Keep going.
Verse 19, I speak after the manner of men because of the infirmity of your flesh. For as ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanliness.
Right, meaning when it said, see how you had yielded your members unto uncleanness when we was just willfully going on, breaking the laws. Go ahead.
It says, and to iniquity unto iniquity.
Yep.
Even to now yield your members servants to righteousness and to holiness.
Right, and that's what we asking Jake to do, man. Like when Jake come up to the camp and we asking him, like, look, man, stop being wicked and come back to the Lord. We asking Jake to do that, man. There was once righteousness, there was once wicked, and there was falling sin and falling doing iniquity upon iniquity. We like now yield your members, now fall after righteousness. Now do the same way you was putting your energy into wickedness, now put the energy into righteousness. That's what it's saying. But bring it back.
Romans chapter 6, verse 19. I speak after the manner of men because of the infirmities of your flesh. For as ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanliness,
right,
and to iniquity unto iniquity,
right,
Even so now, you, your members, servants, even so, Salakia, to righteousness and holiness.
Right. So that's exactly what I was just breaking down, man. You were sinning and shit like that going on. You were falling, doing all type of wicked shit. Paul was like, look, you was putting all that energy to doing wickedness. Now use that energy, and now that you know the truth, now put that same energy that you was using towards the wicked shit. Now put it towards doing righteousness, man. And that's what we asked Jake to do, but Jake don't want to do that. Now keep on. I think finish off at 20. You got a scripture?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This John 8:32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Oh yeah, beautiful, man. That's once we realize what the truth is, the truth literally, spiritually and mentally made us free, man. Because you no longer wondering about who made the earth and all that, or if you was a brother into history, you was wondering who made the fucking pyramids and all the other shit. Once you the Lord wake your spirit up to the truth, you understand all that, man, and it spiritually sets you free, man. You no longer Esau no longer got a hold on your mind.
And it's gonna eventually make you physically free too.
Exactly, and that's the salvation part. Because you know what I mean. We waiting for the salvation to physically make us free, man. But right now we're spiritually free. Finish it off at 21. Hit 20 and 21 though. That's it.
Romans chapter 6 verse 20. For when ye were the servants of sin, ye were free from righteousness.
Right. You on?
Verse 21, what fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are now ashamed?
Yeah,
for the end of those things is death.
Right, because he was telling them, like, look, man, like, the things that y'all was once doing, you know what I mean, the end of that is death. Because remember what happened with Adam? What happened with Adam, he was doing right by the Most High until Eve came to him with that other way, which is outside of the Lord's way. Outside of the law, statutes, commandments, stuff like that. But it was just oral back then. It was already written in them until she made him go off. So the end of that was death, man. The end of what Adam, what Adam was did was go outside of the way of the Lord was death, man. All right, because but real quick, well, I say you got your apocrypha on you, Napash. Go to Baruch 4:1 real quick. How many minutes we at?
17.
Oh yeah, con. We gotta get close out. Yeah, you should already had that one out, Doc. You gotta keep scored in, shit.
I got a quick precept real quick.
Go ahead, Doc.
But this is Colossians.
Salakia, but y'all following what's going on though? All right.
This Colossians chapter 1 verse 21. It says, and you that were sometimes alienated and enemies in your mind, being wicked works, yet now hath he reconciled in the body of his flesh through death, to present you holy and unblameable and unreprovable in his sight.
You break it down,
right? That's talking about Yahweh Shai, or bringing back the elect, or to make them pure, to make them holy, to make them perfect in the time of salvation when he come back to redeem his elect. Or because the elect, it was sometime when they were alienated, they were strangers to the truth.
That's right.
But Yahweh Shai put the spirit back on them to remember.
That's right.
To be sincere.
That's right. And where you at?
Colossians 1 and 21.
Yeah, you can. Like I said, you ain't got to get it, but that Colossians, we said 1 and 21. That can pretty much go into the Ephesians 2nd chapter when we talk about the Lord breaking down that common wealth, the wall and stuff like that. Like him pretty much bringing us back to the Lord, because like the Ox said, we were once servants to sin and stuff like that. And we were once the elect at one point was alienated from the Lord, and we was serving sin, man. But now once we received the truth, we came back into serving righteousness. You got something, Bakar?
No.
The posture, grab yours real quick. Then we're gonna close out on that last scripture. Baruch 4:1, and you hit 2.
This Baruch chapter 4 verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. Yeah. All they that keep it shall come to life, right, but such as leave it shall die.
Right, and that goes perfectly to what we read in Romans 6th chapter, man, about serving sin, and sin bring forth death, and how being a servant of righteousness, it bring forth life. Just bring back that last verse real quick, Napash. Shamaria. I know I'm bringing them back like a little bit more than usual. It's just so y'all can like really hone in on them points. Just bring that last verse back.
Talking about in
Romans. No, in Romans the 6th chapter.
Oh, Salaki. All right, this Romans chapter 6,
21.
verse 21. It says, "What fruit had ye then in those things whereof ye are now ashamed? For the end of those things is death."
Right, and now Napash, grab that one in second verse you read.
Baruch chapter 4 verse 1. This is the book of commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Right, and then like I said, the whole chapter Shmuel was reading, and just go into it. Like it said, all those that keep it shall die. And if anything that you do outside of the ways of the Lord, it brings forth death. And like I said, you go and that's the whole reason why we in this predicament right now. Fucked up, eating GMOs. You know what I mean? All women being hoes and shit like that. That's all from not following the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord, which brings forth life. Anything outside of that brings forth death. Like I said, that's what happened with Adam. You know what I mean? He stopped following the ways of the Lord, and he went about it, he went about following other philosophies and shit. And that's what brought forth death. All right. Finish it out real quick. That's it on that posture. Finish out Shemariah.
Verse 22, Romans chapter 6, verse 22. It says, "But now being made free from sin and become servants to Yahweh, ye have your fruit unto holiness and the end everlasting life."
You see that, man? And remember, the Lord said those who names are written in the everlasting book or something like that. Roughly paraphrasing, the book of life, man. So, Lord willing, we're gonna be written in the book of life, man, because our works are not gonna go void, man. Our name will pretty much live forever, man. Just like our forefathers, just thousands of years ago, we reading about Paul and stuff like that. They perished thousands of years ago, but their legacy continued, man. So it's like their names was written in the heavens, so to speak, and what they did won't go forgotten, unforgotten, man. So Lord willing, we praise edifying, man. We're gonna give our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makar-Kadash. All right, double honors to our apostle Ezra Millstone. Peace and mercy be unto the Lord's elect out there. Shalom, wa ababa ball, man.
About the ball.